The second book I read for this assignment was The Rules of Survival by Nancy Werlin. Um, this was a National Book Award finalist. And I would say it's probably about for ages 14 and up. There are some kind of violent abuse scenes in here that you may not want maybe younger middle schoolers exposed to, or they might not even be mature enough to handle that yet. So I would definitely say probably 14 or up. This book is really written from an interesting perspective. I think that's what grabbed me the most about this book. It's the main character, Matthew, writing to his youngest sister, Emmy, all about their mother and kind of their journey and their story, because Emmy was quite young when all the action in the story was taking place. So the main character really wants her to know what happened, because he is now going off to college and will not be there to take care of her anymore. I'd just like to share with you when you get the book, and on the back of the book, it states Matt's Rules of Survival, and this also drew me in. It says, Matt's Rules of Survival. Number 1, sometimes the people who mean you harm are the ones who say they love you. Number 2, fear is your friend. When you feel it, act. Number 3, protect the little ones. 4, if you coped before, you can cope now. Number 5, always remember, in the end, the survivor gets to tell the story. When I read these really grabbed me. And when Matt at the beginning starts writing the letter to his younger sister, he spells these out pretty clearly. This, as a young child and kind of young adolescent, this is what he lived by. He always made sure people, he says, think that fear is a bad thing, but he thought fear was such a good thing because it kept him on his toes and it made him be able to protect his younger sister Callie and his youngest sister Emmy from their abusive mother. The great thing about this book also are their pretty short chapters. So kids who need that kind of short transition time and like to feel that accomplishment for finishing chapters quickly, that can be done with this book. Honestly, I was kind of disappointed with it. I was really more disappointed with the adult characters in this book. Several times, Matt tries to reach out to get some help for their situation, not in the conventional way. It's not like he shows up to school and tells his teacher that his mom is being abusive to him and his younger sisters, but he does try to get his father, who is not in the picture anymore, to help them. His aunt lives right downstairs in the apartment downstairs, and he tries to get her to help him, and he also tries to get his mother's ex-boyfriend Murdoch to help him. Finally, the most kind of unlikely person to listen is Murdoch, the ex-boyfriend, and he steps in, and they do their best to help Matt, Callie, and Emmy get out of the situation they're in. But it just, I don't know, I might be a little too idealistic and think that, you know, adults should rush right in and help these children, because it really made me sad how fast Matt had to grow up and how fast also Callie had to grow up in this story too to protect their youngest sister Emmy. I think every child deserves a childhood, and I think that's one of the things probably that the author is trying to get across here. It's kind of this horrible story where you think that the adults should step in right away, but they don't, and that's kind of shocking. But that also made me kind of disappointed in the book. Nancy Werlin has written a lot of stuff for young adults. There's also some fantasy that she's pretty well known for. So if you'd like to learn anything else about the Rules of Survival, or Nancy Werlin, or also the National Book Award that I mentioned earlier that this book was a finalist for, you can just head over to the authors or resource page and find that.